This is Vertical Football Podcast, and this is AFCON special. With me, I have Shegun. Shegun, how are you doing?
Great to be here. Great to be here.
So, we want to just go in-depth analysis on Nigeria versus Tanzania. Number one, Shegun, what do you say about the match?
Amazing game. I think for me, this one has been one of the best Nigeria match I've watched in a very long time.
Okay.
I think everything was good. I think the victory was a coach's victory. It was tactical. The tactical things that were ensured in this game, especially the first half,
first half,
are very amazing. I think they deserve to win. Even though I was not happy that we did not keep a clean sheet, because I think we deserve a clean sheet.
Yeah, naturally everybody felt that the opponent we are facing, at least a clean sheet will not bad, but it's not bad. But let's talk about Tanzania. Do you notice that there is a maturity to their game in the second half?
Yeah, I think it's just basic. I think our coach, that's Eric Chill, I think he shocked everybody because the way he played in the first half, there's no analyst that would expect that he will play that way.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of things. First of all, they started with a basic 4-4-2, but I can tell you that we use up to 4 different formations.
More than four.
In that game. So when you look at the basic 4-4-2, at certain points it was 3-5-2. At certain point 3-2-2. At certain points it was a 3-4-3. So a lot of dynamics that he used. Sometimes 2-6-2. That's amazing. And I was really very happy because, let me even want to go in deeply into a little bit of the analysis. You will see, for example, first of all, most of our build-up, we did it with 2, sometimes with 3. The left back, I think that's Salisu, was part of the 3 that build up. But you see sometimes the like of Chukwueze was not an out-and-out winger. Exactly. He was coming in. Yeah. And when he came in, the likes of Osayi was having the ability to be. So in that formation, what happens is our fullbacks ended up becoming like wing backs in certain games. So the likes of Chukwueze was dropping in. That caused Tanzania a lot of difficulties because it took the left back of them into the center and they're not comfortable in the center. Also, when you look at the genius of starting Iwobi, we'll talk about that, but looking at the genius of starting Iwobi, in that midfield too. And also when you see the fact that Lookman, that started at the wing in the basic 4-4-2, wasn't playing the wing, he was playing as a number 10 in front of the single man in front of the box, the box 18. So when you look at that, you see that, okay, when those guys drop into the midfield, the likes of Akko and Osimhen will stretch. So fantastic. For me, it was just amazing, really. And the man shows that he's tactical.
Now, it shows the tactical angle of Elishel, really, because I saw it and I was like, this is European standard. Yeah. And we saw that last year, Nations Cup, Mali, when he was at Mali there. Yeah. And even though the type of player he has there was not as amazing as Nigeria's crop of players, but you will see the dynamism of what he's trying to do, and he has more distance. Now let's talk about our midfield, because that is where the magic started from for me, really. So let's talk about midfield, the combination of Iwobi and Ndidi. Let's talk about Iwobi first.
I think first and foremost, I want to give the coach, as I said, it's a coach's victory, because even on the podcast we've been analyzing about our midfield 3. And that's to tell people that sometimes you don't get the best with the midfield 3.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's just about the profile of the players and the strength of the players. Even though I know that, yes, it's not yet perfect in terms of there are certain areas that they still need to work on.
Pass,
not even the miss, but a lot of certain areas. But when you look at the midfield, we had different combinations of midfield. I think we have up to like 3 or 4 combinations. The first combination was a basic 4-4-2, a basic 4-4-2 of Iwobi and Ndidi. A point came where it was a box midfield. A box midfield that we had Iwobi, we had Ndidi, we had inverted Lookman, and we had the inverted Chukwueze. So it was Iwobi, Ndidi, we had Chukwueze, Lookman, Chukwueze. So it was like a box. Later it became a diamond, where we had a single pivot of Ndidi, we had Iwobi on the left, we had Chukwueze on the right, and we had Lookman just in front of the box 18. So it was like a diamond. So we had different dynamics, and I feel that what I have seen on the ball in terms of involvement, I believe Eric Chill has unlocked Iwobi. I think Iwobi will be much more important for the Super Eagles, having to play as a box-to-box and orchestrator, as that's midfielder that drives it, orchestrating and drive. And I think it will be very amazing. For me, Iwobi look like, in a way, I know he's not to that level, but in a way, look at our Nigeria De Jong. What he did today. I think it was fantastic. I think it definitely, if I was to rate Iwobi, I would rate him a 9/10 in today's game. There's hardly anything you see that said he did a mistake. But even though I know that, yes,
there's a mistake on the ball.
that's the part that we are coming to in terms of off the ball. In terms of I say on the ball, on the ball we can see what we're doing, but also the strength of our opponents also determines the kind of difficulties we'll face through. So in the case where we are facing a much tougher team, I want to see how you will be able to survive in that midfield too, off the ball, right? And also when you look at good passes, piercing passes, amazing passes, but I felt that sometimes when our wingers choked in and we had our fullbacks as wingbacks, there were certain moments where it should have just done piercing, it should have change sides. But I know that he's going to learn on the job, and I was amazed with his performance.
Really, I'm just skeptical about Nigeria off the ball movement, and actually from Ndidi. Yeah, Ndidi is good off the ball, but today, because we have too much of the ball, we are a little bit not. There's no urgency of the ball. What do you think about that?
In the second half. I think in the second half, many things happened. The goal, I think it was just a blip. I think that we have those kind of blips in football where you are dominating and you're dominating so much that you don't think the opponent to come back to the game. Exactly. And as I said, even when Tanzania scored, you saw the response of the coach was like, how? Well, it's just a blip. It happens in the game of football. I think we have to now be careful about that. We have to keep dominating, even when we're dominating. And whenever we have halftime breaks, we must not drop the levels when we come back.
Exactly.
So we must not drop the levels. So we must not switch off. I think that we switched off and we allowed them to get a feeling to the game, and we sat back, and that's why they got their chance and they scored. But in the second half, I think also maybe the levels drop in the second half for most part due to the kind of profiles of players we brought in. So the profiles we brought in were not guys that were playing inside, as the wing, for example.
Yeah. You are looking at Simon.
You are looking at Simon here. You are giving us the guy from, I think they said they forgot his name now. The guy that is playing, I think was playing for Lazio at one point, or if he's still playing for Lazio. So they are now playing wing.
Yeah,
so
maximum width.
They are now playing like maximum width, stretching, and I think that Tanzania is comfortable with that. But in the first half, we were not comfortable with that because likes of Chukwueze was, even though I know that there are a lot of things that we can analyze in terms of even the Chukwueze and the likes in the first half, how that they were in the right position, but they did not push. Chukwueze, for example, we had a lot of passes in the first half where we took it too early instead of us to have calmed down and try to beat in front of the box team. But fantastic performance from
it. I felt that Nigeria should have won that match, maybe 4 goals.
Because of the kind of opportunities, the kind of positions we took in the pitch, the kind of approach of the game. We should have, but obviously I know that it's the first time they are trying it on the big stage. And I know that some of the players still have this fear. We should not go and make mistake and anything. But I know that if once they continue, it will get better. Now,
compared with the last year, I know a lot of people don't really think about last year Nations Cup. Our first match in the last year Nations Cup was not this entertaining.
The last edition,
the first match.
I think in the last edition of the Nations Cup, we analyzed it. We did the episode. We didn't play anything in the last Nations Cup.
It was all up jumping.
It was rubbish football, really.
But this time, our players were more relaxed.
Yes.
They know. At one point in the second half, I want us to talk about this. I was expecting them going to about 68 minutes. I was expecting Nigeria to calm down the tempo, dictate the match. But instead of that, they keep on.
So that's, I say, is the profile. It's the profile of the players. So, for example, there are certain moments, like of Moses Simon, there are certain moments where you don't need to go 1v1. There are certain moments where you just move, pass the ball, back, and get dominant. But it was the kind of profile of players that we had in the second half that when they were not up to the level of the profile that we had in the first half. And I think that's what. Well, nevertheless, we didn't look like losing that game. Exactly. And I think that was the beauty for me. I wasn't afraid we were going to lose the game at one point. And for me, I was happy about that.
Let's finally talk about the connection at the front.
Yeah.
Do you think the connection at the front is better in the first half than the second half?
Yeah, obviously. I think Akko was fantastic for me. I think when I look at Akko, I was like, this guy is, looking at it from the eye of a manager, is an amazing thing for a manager. You can use him anywhere in that front. For me, it was fantastic. I think it will be Osimhen for me. I felt that the time where he was playing at the right-hand side of the stretch two in attack, I didn't really feel the vibe. But the moments where Akko came to the right and Osimhen was playing more like left center, I think I like that. And I think the manager will have seen that if they want to do it, it will be better for Osimhen to be in the left while Akko be in the right. So I think it's just about, you have an idea, you try and test it, You see what works, you see doesn't work, what doesn't work. But for me, I think the major lesson in this match for me is the fact that we might have found the solution to our poor midfield in the past.
Hopefully.
No, I think because looking at it in the past, under the former, no, it's not about the opponents now. It's about the dynamics.
Okay.
When you look at the three, I think I even did analysis on the DR Congo game. When you look at the dynamics we had in our midfield before, even during the former coach, and now we always had the midfield three where Iwobi will be the number 10, but Iwobi will still be having to drop to collect the ball because Iwobi looks like the most intelligent, and I think he's the most intelligent midfielder we have on the ball.
Yeah.
So now, if you get a situation whereby you can get him, to not just be dropping in, because I was arguing otherwise he will be dropping in, but you can get him instead of dropping in, but you can get him to start from a low pitch. It's amazing. So I think it's not about I know against other opponents, but Iwobi is a super player. And if you can give us this kind of level of performance and be involved throughout, there's no game in Super Eagles I have watched that Iwobi has been involved for 90 minutes.
When Eric Shaw started, though.
Even before, we were always complaining about last Nations Cup, we complained about Iwobi. Iwobi has ever been, Iwobi used to go missing in games. But for Iwobi to be involved for 90 minutes in today, it shows me that we've strike something tactical, and he can get better. And once he get better, I think
in our game against Tunisia, we'll see if we can.
Yes, exactly. So we'll test
I think Tunisia will be a good test. For us.
See our levels.
To see our level, really. To see our level. Finally, Shegun, what do you think have changed finally?
A lot of things. So
no, I don't want you to give you also everything because obviously others are going to be showing up later on. During the people will start seeing them. But for now, what is visible that people need to see in this match alone? One or two that is visible.
I think so. I think the most visible is the midfield. Out of the fact that we play better with that kind of midfield structure, and we are beginning to understand and capitalize on the strength of Iwobi. For me, I felt it was very, very comfortable with that midfield. I think that's the major one. And I think second, we have to look at the second game to see if it's just specific for this game in terms of Chukwueze and Lookman going centrally, Chukwueze coming. So I think for me, we can talk about 15 different things we saw in today's game.
A lot because there's some I saw about the defense. I think maybe the next match, maybe against Tunisia. So I have to
exactly. Also, when you look at our defense, we're able to build up most times with two
at the back.
And the reason why we're able to do that because Tanzania were not pressing.
Exactly.
So we have to, like I said, depends on the opponent. But nevertheless, I think we have seen some very good things.
A lot of very good things, really. Shegun, final note. Do you think Nigeria, I know you have done a preview. But for me and you now, do you think Nigeria, with crappy football last edition, we got to the final? Do you think with beautiful football like this, we can get there?
I think if we play like this every single game, if we have this kind of tactical genius that we had in today's game in most games, I think we'll win. I think we have the players. I think it's just the application. And you can see that sometimes it's not even about the players, it's about how you apply them. How you apply them. Sometimes it's not about high-flying wing football. Sometimes it's about your wingers talking in. You know what I'm saying? And I think we have players like Lookman, we have players like Chukwueze who can play wide, who can play inside. I think
even Simon can easily learn because Simon wasn't that bad.
I'm not a fan of Simon. I know,
but really, from my own point of view, I'm looking at him.
Should have even done better. If
he wasn't that bad, really, because he at least out of 100% take on, he got 60. I mean 50. So I think 60.
But 80. What was the end product?
So
for me, I'm not going to talk about him because that's not my own is just the fact that I enjoy what we played in the first half, and I think if you can replicate that first half performance over time, I think we'll score a lot more goals in the first half and we can stabilize ourselves in the second half.
Hopefully, if they don't switch up, because that's the problem.
Hopefully they continue playing.
All right, final thoughts.
So that's all for me. I'm happy about the game. Fantastic win.
All right, guys. I am happy about the game. I know there's a lot of... Today is not about weight pointing. Today is just analyzing. This is a coach winning. The coach tactically brought something on board. It took Tanzania by surprise. They were expecting high-flying wingers. And so a lot of time, people felt that when you play for 4-2, your wingers have to be high flying, but it shocked them.
We didn't play for 4-2. I think that's football. You can play for. You can say if you are starting for 4-2. We did not play for 4-2.
You did not play for 4-2, and it was shocking. And that's a sign that Nigeria have a good coach in their hand, whether you agree or not, guys. I know you have many things to talk about. If you think that what we said that right now does not fit what we are saying, you know what? Drop it in the comment section. We'll be there to reply you in any way and even give you facts about what we have seen. Till we meet again, let's see you at the next match. Bye-bye.